Okay, and now for some breaking news with Wisconsin.
And you say I don't have the head on it. This is rather unbelievable. Members of a congressional party leaving the state that they're elected to serve because they want to force the governor of the state to raise the taxes in the state on the people to pay for public employees' pension plans and benefits.
That's like one of the most ridiculous
Like
things.
I saw one of the Democratic main newsmen said, didn't these people get the message that they want this stopped, and now, you know, they've got...
And they leave the state?
They leave the state because the state law says you cannot have a vote unless one member of the opposition political party is there, so they fled the state. And now they're going to have warrants out on them, and they said, well, they can't get... One of them said, well, they can't come across state line, and then they said, interstate flight to avoid prosecution is a federal crime. Which means you could have all of these senators, congressmen brought back to Wisconsin in chains.
Oh, that is bad.
Yeah, and if they only catch one of them, it only takes one, and the public is steamed because this isn't being, you know, we demand that you raise taxes, and until you raise taxes, we aren't going to come back to the state. Like they said, did they get the message from the election? No. Basically, it finishes the Democratic Party off now. I mean,
in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, basically everywhere, because what type of a-hole says, we aren't coming back unless you raise taxes to pay for those union wages? They don't like unions to begin with. Now
Everybody's going to be more mad at the unions because they did that.
They said the union's doing this for, you know, well, we earn this stuff. Well, yeah, I earned all of the stuff that I didn't get from the 3 unions that I used to belong to that folded, and I never got any of that. My mother, who was part of a union, and got basically, they give her $4,000 of it, $400-some thousand that she had coming to her.
Out.
$4,000 was the negotiated deal because the union spent all the money on elections.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not going to endear themselves with this country, because basically it is a campaign cry for the Republicans of out-of-state, out-of-control Democrats. That they're going to hold a state hostage unless taxes are raised. They'll say that we're doing it. They said we're doing it for the people of Wisconsin. Because if you allow it to happen to the unions, they'll do it to you. Well, the state's broke. I saw what they said. Spending is at 250% of the 250% above what they're bringing in revenue, and the revenue people are leaving the state in droves. Businesses. You can't raise taxes in a busted state. But I mean, we just thought there was something important to tell people. I mean, it'd be interesting seeing people arrested. They only got to get one of them.
That is crazy.
I mean, it's been a long time. I can't remember. When I was younger, they pulled this stuff in southern states on civil rights, and they basically the government would drag back a congressman or senator so they could have the so-called one person in, and then they vote for the civil rights legislation. Guess who it was that they had to drag back?
Who?
It wasn't Republicans, because the Democrats were virtually against civil rights in the South. Who gave the right to the African American to vote? Republicans. Who gave the right to women to vote? Republicans. Who created the Americans with Disabilities Act? The Republicans. Who created the Equal Rights Amendment? The Republicans.
Well, you just sound like you're a Republican.
No, it's history. Democrats have fought tooth and nail against everything, and then they get the benefits from it all. Because Republicans are not very bright. We're talking, the Republicans do the right thing and then let the other guy take the credit. So you know, Republicans are not known for intelligence, but this is basically, Hubert Humphrey would be, they said, Hubert Humphrey would be proud of those Wisconsin legislatures because they just shot the union, and they formed a circle and shot the union in the foot. So, that's our breaking news.